Everyone talks about Arsenal, Manchester City, and Liverpool. But what if the next Champions League team comes from somewhere else? Newcastle are building a superpower. Aston Villa continue to rise under Unai Emery. Tottenham are chasing consistency. Brighton keep outsmarting richer clubs, and Brentford refuse to disappear. Today we're analyzing 5 clubs that could completely reshape the Premier League table in 2026-27. Let's start with Newcastle United. For generations, Newcastle United have been one of English football's sleeping giants. A historic club, a massive fan base, a legendary stadium. But for years, ambition and reality were separated. Now, that gap is closing. Since the new ownership era began, Newcastle have transformed from a relegation battle team into a club competing for European football and domestic trophies. But the 2026-27 season brings a different challenge. Newcastle are no longer the surprise package. They are now a target. The question is simple. Can Newcastle become England's next football superpower? Eddie Howe has built Newcastle around intensity, discipline, and physical dominance. Their football is based on aggressive pressing, fast transitions, strong defensive organization, high energy from every position. Newcastle want matches played at their tempo. They want opponents uncomfortable. They want every challenge, every duel, and every second ball to matter. Newcastle are at their best when they can attack quickly after winning possession. Their wide players provide direct threat. Their midfield gives them aggression, and their defensive structure allows them to compete against stronger possession teams. However, the next step toward becoming a title challenger is controlling games when they don't have the ball less often. Elite teams don't only react, they dominate. Bruno Guimarães, the heart of Newcastle. Bruno Guimarães represents Newcastle's personality. Technically gifted, aggressive, and competitive, he gives Newcastle quality in midfield battles against the biggest teams. His ability to control tempo, progress the ball, and create chances makes him one of the most important players in the squad. Harvey Barnes, the goal contribution factor. Harvey Barnes could become one of Newcastle's biggest attacking weapons. His ability to score, make runs behind defenders, and attack 1-versus-1 situations gives Newcastle another route to goal. Home advantage. St. James's Park remains one of the most intimidating atmospheres in English football. Newcastle's home form has become one of their biggest weapons. 2. Physical dominance. Few teams can match Newcastle's intensity for 90 minutes. Against elite opponents, their physical level can completely change games. 3. Recruitment strategy. Newcastle's long-term project depends on smart recruitment, adding players who can improve the squad while maintaining their competitive identity. Biggest challenges is replacing elite goal output. When a club loses a world-class goalscorer, the responsibility spreads across the entire attack. Newcastle now need multiple players contributing goals rather than relying on one individual. Competing in England means playing every few days. Champions League football, domestic cups, and Premier League matches test even the deepest squads. The Premier League's top positions are extremely competitive. Arsenal, Manchester City, Liverpool, Chelsea, and Manchester United all have the resources to compete. Newcastle must prove they can match them over an entire season. Newcastle's evolution is also supported by exciting additions such as Nick Woltemade and Yohan Wissa, while Lewis Hall continues to develop into one of the Premier League's most promising fullbacks. Their emergence gives Eddie Howe greater depth and flexibility across the pitch. Newcastle United are no longer dreaming about becoming a big club, they already are. The next challenge is becoming a great team. If Eddie Howe continues developing the squad, if recruitment remains strong, and if Newcastle find enough goals across the team, they can establish themselves as regular Champions League contenders. The sleeping giant has awakened. Now comes the hardest part, staying among England's elite. Newcastle are building something special, but another club has already shown that smart planning can challenge football's biggest names. Next, Aston Villa, the rise of a European contender. Aston Villa are no longer the surprise story of English football. They are now part of the conversation. For decades, Villa were known as one of England's historic clubs, a former European champion with a huge fan base and a proud tradition. But under Unai Emery, they have entered a completely different era. The question for 2026-27 is no longer, can Aston Villa compete with the biggest clubs? The question is, can they stay there? Few managers in world football are as detail-focused as Unai Emery. Villa's rise has been built on tactical preparation, flexibility, and making every opponent uncomfortable. Unlike teams that rely only on individual brilliance, Villa's success comes from structure. Every player understands their role, every movement has a purpose. Aston Villa's football combines control with aggression. With the ball, they look to create numerical advantages, move opponents out of position, and attack spaces quickly. Without the ball, they are organized, disciplined, and capable of pressing high when the moment is right. Villa's tactical strengths are intelligent pressing, fast attacking transitions, strong defensive organization, and tactical flexibility against different opponents. That adaptability is one reason Villa have been able to compete against clubs with bigger budgets. Villa's biggest improvement under Emery has been their ability to become more efficient. They are no longer simply trying to survive against elite teams, they are finding ways to beat them. Areas where Villa excel are chance creation through structured attacks, defensive organization, transition football, set-piece threat. Areas to improve are maintaining consistency over 38 matches, squad depth during busy periods, competing across multiple competitions. Emiliano Martinez. The defensive leader. At the back, Emiliano Martinez remains one of Villa's most important figures. His shot-stopping ability, personality, and experience provide confidence in crucial moments. For teams competing in Europe, having a goalkeeper capable of producing match-winning performances is a major advantage. Ollie Watkins, the pressing forward. Ollie Watkins' importance goes beyond goals. His movement, pressing, and ability to stretch defensive lines fit perfectly into Emery's tactical approach. For Villa's system to work, the striker's contribution starts before the final shot. Yuri Tielemans, midfield quality. Experience matters when competing at the highest level. Tielemans provides passing quality, composure, and the ability to control important moments in midfield. Villa's biggest challenge is the same challenge faced by every club trying to break into the elite. Consistency. Finishing high in the Premier League once is difficult. Doing it season after season while competing in Europe is much harder. European football changes everything. Aston Villa won the European Cup in 1982. Travel increases, matches become more intense, rotation becomes essential. Villa must build a squad capable of handling demanding European fixtures while maintaining Premier League consistency. Aston Villa have become one of the most intelligently managed clubs in England. They have a world-class coach, a clear tactical identity, and a squad capable of competing at the highest level. The next step is proving they belong permanently among the Premier League elite. Villa are no longer chasing the big clubs. They are becoming one of them. Aston Villa have shown that smart planning can challenge football's giants. But another historic club is searching for consistency and a return to European relevance. Next, Tottenham Hotspur. Can Spurs finally turn potential into success? Tottenham Hotspur have spent years searching for one thing: stability. The club has consistently had talented players, world-class facilities, and one of the Premier League's biggest stadiums. But success at the highest level requires more than potential. It requires identity, consistency, and the ability to perform when the pressure is at its highest. For the 2026-27 season, Tottenham's mission is clear: turn promise into progress. Few clubs in England have the resources Tottenham possess. They have invested heavily in infrastructure, recruitment, and squad development. The challenge has never been ambition. The challenge has been converting that ambition into trophies and sustained success. Modern Tottenham teams have often been associated with attacking football. The club's identity is built around positive attacking intent, quick ball progression, high attacking positions, creating overloads in wide areas. But attacking football at the highest level requires balance. The best Premier League teams can dominate possession, create chances, and still remain defensively reliable. That balance is the next step for Spurs. Tottenham's potential strengths are creative attacking players, ability to create chances through possession, strong technical quality, threat from wide areas. Areas requiring improvement are defensive consistency, controlling matches after taking the lead, reducing costly mistakes, maintaining performance levels across a full season. The difference between an entertaining team and a successful team is often what happens when things go wrong. Champions find ways to win difficult matches. Christian Romero, the world champion leader. As Tottenham move beyond the Son Heung-min era, new leaders must take responsibility, a role now naturally assumed by Christian Romero. The Argentine defender brings something rare to Spurs: elite international experience and a winning mentality developed at the highest level. Romero is aggressive, front-footed, and fearless. His ability to defend one-versus-one situations, step into midfield, and dominate physical battles makes him one of Tottenham's most important players. For Spurs to become a consistent European-level team, Romero's leadership and availability will be crucial. James Maddison, the creative brain. Tottenham need players who can unlock deep defensive blocks, and Maddison remains one of their most creative weapons. His passing, set pieces, and ability between the lines can decide tight Premier League matches. Mickey van de Ven. The defensive weapon. Modern football rewards defenders who can defend huge spaces. Van de Ven's recovery pace allows Tottenham to play with a higher defensive line and gives them a unique tactical advantage. Dejan Kulusevski. The creative force. Kulusevski brings intelligence, physical strength, and creativity in the final third. His ability to carry the ball, combine with teammates, and create chances makes him an important part of Tottenham's attacking structure. Destiny Udogie, the modern fullback. Udogie represents Tottenham's future. His athleticism, attacking ability, and willingness to push forward fit the demands of modern elite football. Tottenham's biggest challenge is consistency. The Premier League punishes teams that are excellent one week and unpredictable the next. To challenge for Europe, Spurs need to collect points against teams they are expected to beat, not only produce impressive performances against big rivals. For Tottenham, success should not only be measured by one big result, it should be measured by progress. A clear playing identity, improved defensive record, consistent league position, regular European competition. The goal is to become a club that belongs near the top every season. Tottenham remain one of the most difficult teams to predict. Their ceiling is high because of their talent, resources, and attacking quality, but reaching the next level requires turning exciting football into reliable results. Spurs have spent years searching for the final piece. The 2026-27 season could reveal whether they have finally found it. The Premier League is not only controlled by the traditional giants. Some of England's smartest clubs have built success through recruitment, data, and development. Next, Brighton, the smartest project in English football. In modern football, money can buy talent, but intelligence can create a competitive advantage, and no Premier League club represents that idea better than Brighton and Hove Albion. While bigger clubs spend hundreds of millions chasing immediate success, Brighton have built a different model, a model based on data, recruitment, player development, and identifying talent before the rest of the world notices. The question for 2026-27 is simple. Can Brighton continue competing with clubs that have far greater financial power? Brighton's success has never been based on one superstar signing. It has been based on finding undervalued players, developing them, improving them, and competing at a higher level than their budget suggests. This philosophy has turned Brighton into one of football's most respected development clubs. Brighton entered a new chapter under Fabian Hürzeler, whose tactical approach has continued the club's focus on intelligent, aggressive football. The German coach arrived with a reputation for tactical detail and modern football ideas after his success at St. Pauli. At Brighton, he continued the club's philosophy of aggressive, intelligent football built around young players and tactical flexibility. Brighton's football is built around controlling space. With the ball, they look to create passing options everywhere. Without the ball, they press aggressively and try to win possession quickly. Key tactical features are building from the back, creating overloads in midfield, fullbacks pushing into attacking areas, high pressing after losing possession, and developing technically gifted young players. Brighton do not try to copy the biggest clubs. They try to outthink them. Brighton's numbers over recent Premier League seasons have reflected their philosophy. They have consistently been among the league's more progressive teams in possession, chance creation, and player development. Brighton's strengths are recruitment efficiency, chance creation, technical football, youth development, and tactical flexibility. Areas to improve are defensive consistency, converting dominance into points and maintaining performance during injury periods. Kaoru Mitoma, the difference maker. Kaoru Mitoma represents exactly what Brighton's model is about. An intelligent recruitment decision turned into a Premier League star. His explosive acceleration, 1-versus-1 ability, and creativity give Brighton something every team needs. A player who can create danger from nothing. Yankuba Minteh, the future weapon. Brighton's recruitment strategy is always focused on tomorrow. Young players with speed, creativity, and potential are developed into important first-team contributors. Minteh represents that next generation of Brighton talent. Lewis Dunk, the experienced leader. Every successful young team needs experience. Lewis Dunk provides leadership, defensive organization, and knowledge of Premier League battles. His role remains important in balancing Brighton's youthful squad. Carlos Baleba, the midfield engine. Carlos Baleba represents Brighton's continued ability to discover and develop elite young talent. His athleticism, ball-winning ability, and ability to drive through midfield give Brighton another important piece for the future. Brighton's biggest challenge is keeping their level while bigger clubs continue improving. Their best players are constantly attracting attention from Europe's elite. The club must constantly replace talent without losing their identity. Can Brighton become a top 6 club? Brighton have already achieved something remarkable. They went from fighting outside the Premier League spotlight to competing for European football. The next step is even harder. Can a data-driven model consistently compete against clubs with unlimited spending power? Brighton remain one of the most fascinating teams in English football. They may not have the financial power of Manchester City, Chelsea, or Manchester United, but they have something equally valuable: a clear identity, smart recruitment, excellent coaching, and a system designed for long-term success. Brighton are proof that in modern football, intelligence can compete with money. Brighton built a revolution through data, but another Premier League club has taken analytics and set-piece excellence to another level. Brentford, the Moneyball club that refuses to disappear. In a league dominated by billion-pound squads, global superstars, and record-breaking transfers, Brentford have built their success using a different weapon: intelligence. They do not compete with the Premier League giants by spending more. They compete by making better decisions. From recruitment to tactics, Brentford have become one of English football's smartest operations. But the 2026-27 season brings a new challenge. Can Brentford continue punching above their weight in a league where every mistake is punished? Brentford's rise has been one of football's great modern stories. The club moved from the lower divisions to the Premier League by building a system based on data, scouting, and development. Their philosophy is simple: find undervalued players, improve them through coaching, create a clear tactical identity, and sell intelligently when opportunities arrive. While bigger clubs buy proven stars, Brentford often find the players who become stars. Brentford's football has always been built around efficiency. They understand that they cannot dominate every opponent through possession, so they maximize the moments they can control. Key tactical strengths are elite set-piece organization, direct attacking transitions, intelligent pressing, defensive structure, and physical competitiveness. Brentford are one of the best examples of a team understanding its own strengths. They do not try to play like Manchester City. They play like Brentford. Brentford's success has often come from efficiency rather than volume. They have consistently been dangerous from set pieces and quick attacking situations, allowing them to compete against teams with bigger budgets. Brentford's strengths are set-piece threat, recruitment strategy, team organization, tactical discipline, and player development. Areas to improve are squad depth compared with bigger clubs, maintaining consistency after key departures, and creating enough chances against deep defensive teams. Igor Thiago, the new attacking threat. After arriving with a reputation as a powerful striker, Igor Thiago represents Brentford's ability to find attacking talent capable of fitting their system. His movement, physical presence, and finishing will be important as Brentford continue evolving. Mikkel Damsgaard, the creative link. Damsgaard provides technical quality and creativity in midfield. His ability to find space, progress the ball, and create opportunities makes him an important part of Brentford's attacking structure. Nathan Collins, defensive foundation. At the back, Brentford need reliability. Nathan Collins represents the type of defender required in the Premier League: physical, aggressive, and capable of handling difficult matchups. Brentford's greatest strength is also their biggest challenge. When a player performs at a high level, bigger clubs notice. The club must constantly rebuild while maintaining Premier League standards. The Premier League financial gap is enormous. Brentford cannot match the spending power of Manchester City, Chelsea, or Manchester United. Instead, they must continue finding advantages in areas where money is not the only factor: scouting, coaching, and preparation. Brentford may never compete for the Premier League title, but that is not the measure of their success. Their achievement is staying competitive in the toughest league in world football while operating differently from almost everyone around them. They are proof that smart recruitment and elite coaching can challenge financial power. The Moneyball experiment worked, and Brentford are still here. Brentford built success through intelligence and efficiency, but another London club has shown that patience and belief can also create a historic rise. The Premier League isn't only about the biggest clubs. Smart recruitment, elite coaching, and long-term planning are creating genuine challenges across England. But in part 3, we'll look at 5 more fascinating clubs: Crystal Palace, Bournemouth, Fulham, Everton, and Nottingham Forest. If you're enjoying the series, hit the like button, subscribe for the next part, and tell me which of these clubs will surprise everyone this season.